In this video, we're going to be covering the 3-axis standard CAD demonstration. So the first thing we're going to do is go up to Other, and then Shape Library. And then we're going to come over all the way on the right. There's a shape that has 4 cutout corners with a square pocket in the middle. We're going to select that, and then hit OK. Now for number 1, we're going to make it 4 inches wide by 2.5 inches tall. And then I can come over here and zoom out. We'll zoom into that. For our square in the middle, number 3 is going to be a 1.25 square. And then number 4, we're going to make 1.5. Number 5 we'll see is the outside radiuses here. So we're going to go ahead and make those 0.75. And then number 6, we're going to change these corner radiuses to 0.125. And that's going to be the inside corners to right here. And then we're just going to go ahead and hit OK to place that on the screen and then cancel out of the feature. Then we're going to come down to our Layers Manager and right click on the layers and say Add New Layer. We'll call this Holes. And then we're going to put our check mark on that layer. So then we're going to go up to Arcs, Coordinates. We're going to create 2 holes, the radius of which are going to be 0.125. And then they're going to be located at, one is x 0.5 by y1. And we're going to hit OK there to place that one. And then the next one is going to be x 0.5 by y 1.5. And then just hit OK to create that part. Then we're going to go ahead and cancel out of that feature. Now we're going to come back down to our layers and say Add a New Layer. We're going to call it Pocket. And then put our check mark there. Then we're going to go in, grab our Select tool, hold Shift and select on the center pocket there. And then over on the side, we're going to click the button that says Modify Layer to Current. This button allows us to take whatever we have selected and put it on the current active drawing layer. So right now, since the check mark's here, it's our active drawing layer. Then we're going to go ahead and create one more, and we're going to add a new layer and call this Solids. And put our check mark on that layer. And then I'm going to turn off the pocket layer, and then I'm going to go up to Surfaces, Extrude Curve, and we're going to change our distance from the positive direction. We're going to put a 0 in here, and it's going to automatically update the other distance to 1 inch. So I'm just going to hold Shift and pick this outside shape. It's going to chain select around, and then I hit OK. Now if I go into an isometric view by hitting Control 7, it's going to show me the preview of that shape. So then I just hit OK one more time and actually place it on the screen. So then we need to go and extrude these 2 holes through this part. So we're going to go up to Solids, Extrude Cut, and then right here on the All menu, if we click the drop down, we could say Pick by Layer. And the layer I want to pick is going to be the holes layer, and then just hit OK. It's going to pick just those 2 holes, and then I can hit OK. Now these don't matter since I don't have any other surfaces or solids above this part. I can extend these. I just want to make sure they stick through the part completely, and then I just hit OK, and it's going to cut those 2 holes into that part for me. Then I can go ahead and cancel out of my feature, go back to my CAD layer, and then turn my pocket back on. Now for my pocket, I'm going to go back up to Solids, Extrude Cut. I'm going to click the letter S on my keyboard. I'm going to hold Shift and click on this pocket right here so I can select the whole thing. And then hit OK just one time. Now the distance up doesn't matter. We're not cutting anything up there. But the other direction, that's the positive direction. The other direction distance, we want to set to 0.75. And then just click in the other box and you'll see it update. And then hit OK, and it's going to create that pocket for us. So after we cancel out, we can hit S in our workspace, and we're left with a pocket like that. Now the next thing we want to do is go over to our UCS tab, go to a front view, and then click Control 2 to actually go into a front view so that we're looking at the side of the part. Then we want to go to Arcs, Coordinates. We want to create an arc that's at 0 in X, 9 in Y, and 0 in Z with a radius of 9.5 inches. So that's going to be that cut right there. And then we're going to go ahead and just hit OK to place it. So if I zoom out, we have this huge circle here. Let me fit all. So we have that huge circle in there. And then I can go back to my top view, switch to an isometric view, and then go to my layers, and then go to my layer and turn on the solids layer. Then I want to go up to my Solids, Extrude Cut. I want to select that arc that I made and then hit OK. And it knows the normal direction, so it's just going to create one. And we just want to drag this all the way through the part so that it's going to cut all the way through and give us an angle on that part. and then hit OK. And then we can go ahead and turn off our holes and our pocket. And then I'm also going to turn off my CAD layer, and it's going to shut off everything except the solid. Then I'm going to go up to text and say text. I'm going to use a Bobcat font. I'm going to use AFNT 03. My text height is going to be 0.125 with an angle of 90 degrees. And then I'm going to type in Bobcat Cam. So Bobcat Cam. And then just hit OK. Go to a top view so I can click this button right here, and I'm just going to place that right on the part right there, and it's going to sit right on top of that model for me. So then I can cancel out of that text and then click Control 7 and then F on my keyboard to make sure that my parts fit to the screen and I'm in an isometric view. And that concludes the video for the 3-axis standard CAD example.